Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. Welcome to today's video. Today we are going to check out some more Chinese pian radicals. Now the first set of radicals. They all look similar. The first one is 日字旁 sun, word, side. So this radical is exactly this word, and it looks like a sun too. And usually sits aside of a word. Let's write it. Vertical, connected to the top, horizontal turn. Horizontal at the middle. Horizontal to close. Leave a gap here or not. Either is okay. Be aware that these effects are just printed for fashion and beauty. We don't need to do that at our daily handwriting. Also, as a radical, we write it thinner than the original word. And usually smaller than the other part of a word. And your guess is correct. Words with this radical are usually related to sunlight. One word example is晚, late, night. Next, 月字旁 moon. So again, this radical is exactly this word, and it looks like a moon too. And usually sits aside of a word. Let's write it. Vertical and diagonal, connected to the top, horizontal turn hook, horizontal at about 1/3 position, another horizontal at about 2/3 position. Leave a gap here or not. Either is okay. And the bottom should align. Words with this radical are usually related to body. One word example is 脚, foot. Next, 木字旁 eye, commonly seen in an idiom or literature. It looks like an eye too. The difference to the first radical is that this radical has one more horizontal. Let's write it. Vertical, connect to the top, horizontal turn. Horizontal at about 1/3 position. Another horizontal at about 2/3 position. Horizontal to close. As the name suggests, words with this radical are usually related to eyes. One example is 睡, sleep. Next, 四字头 for head. As you can tell from its name, this radical is usually on the top of a word. It looks like the horizontal version of the previous radical. The difference is that we should not leave gaps here, as the previous radical may do. And this radical is kind of this word. Just changing the diagonal and turn to vertical. Let's write this radical. Vertical, connect to the top, horizontal turn. Vertical at about 1/3 position of the horizontal. Another vertical at about 2/3 position. Horizontal to close. The bottoms should align. This radical is short and wide, unlike previous radicals which are tall and thin. Many words with this radical seems related to law, penalty, etc. For example, this word 罪, guilty, sin. Next, 名字底 container, bottom. This radical is exactly this word. And it looks like a traditional plate, saucer, bowl. We write this radical similarly as the above one. Just extending the two ends to similar lengths as these gaps. Let's write it. Vertical connected to the top, horizontal turn. Vertical at about 1/3 position of the horizontal. Another vertical at about 2/3 position. Starting from outside horizontal to close. Passing the end of the vertical a bit. As its name suggests, words with this radical are usually related to container, like this word 盆, pot. The last radical of this set is 西字头. west. Again, this vertical is kind of this word. Just changing the diagonal and turn to verticals. As you can see, the top horizontal should align to the middle. And slightly shorter than the lower part. The verticals and the horizontals should be divided evenly. Let's write it. Horizontal, outer line a bit vertical. Connect to the top horizontal turn. Starting from the horizontal vertical through about 1/3 position of the second horizontal. Another vertical through about 2/3 position. The third horizontal to close. One word with this radical is pian, ticket. Now let's check out the second set of radicals today. They are all about animals. The first one, 虎字头 tiger. So this radical is the top part of this word and usually sits on top of a word. Let's write it. Vertical, similar length of horizontal, starting from the middle. Longer horizontal tick, passing the bottom end of the vertical. Starting from the left end vertical diagonal. Inside horizontal, vertical through the middle, horizontal tick. Be aware that the two verticals should align to the middle of the horizontal. And we should leave some blank area here for the rest part of a word. So this part should be 1/3 height. This part should be another 1/3. And the empty space would be the last 1/3. Many words with this radical are related to bad, fierce animal or thoughts. For example, this word 虑, concern, worry. Next radical, 羊字旁 sheep, goat. This radical is actually this word. We just make the last horizontal shorter and tilt a bit, and make the vertical a vertical diagonal so that the radical sits on the left side of a word. Let's write it. Right dot, left dot, horizontal, horizontal a little shorter, horizontal longer on the left side, similar length on the right side, vertical diagonal through the middle. Be aware that we should align the middle of the horizontals to the gap of the dots. Words with this vertical are usually related to sheep, goat. One example is Ling, a kind of mountain grassland goat, I think. The last vertical of this set is 牛字旁 cow. Again, this vertical is actually this word. We just tilt and shorten the second horizontal. Let's write it. Left diagonal, from the middle about the same length, horizontal, vertical through the middle of the horizontal, out of the range tick, align to the right side of the top, horizontal. The vertical should be divided to 3 portions, with the middle portion slightly shorter, and the other 2 portions similar length. As the name suggests, many words with this radical are related to cow or other larger domestic animals. For example, 母, male, large animal. Now let's check out the third set of radicals today. The first one, 春字头, spring. So this radical is the head of this word. And usually sits on top of a word. Let's write it. Horizontal, shorter horizontal, the longest horizontal, through the middle left diagonal, starting from right to the middle of the bottom horizontal, right diagonal. The third horizontal and the above of this radical usually is about half the height of a word. One word example is Qin, the first dynasty of United China. Next radical, 卷字头 roll, wrap. Let's write it. Right dot, left dot. Short horizontal hold both dots. Longer horizontal. Through the middle of the dots, left diagonal. Starting from right to the middle of the bottom horizontal, right diagonal. Again, the bottom horizontal and the above of this radical usually is about half the height of a word. One example is 拳 fist. Last radical of this set, 登字头 climb. Let's write it. Horizontal left diagonal, one stroke. At about the middle of the diagonal, right dot. Now right apart, starting from about the same level, short left diagonal, right diagonal, one stroke. At about the middle of the diagonal, left dot. The bottom of both parts should align. One word example is 凳 bench, stool. Okay, now the last set of radicals today. The first one, 三拐 3 turn. This radical has 3 almost identical components. You can write each component as a left bracket. Let's write it. Left diagonal or dot turn. Left diagonal or dot turn. Left diagonal or dot turn. Be aware to make sure you have even gaps. One word with this radical is 草 nest. Next radical, 爪字头 claw paw. So this radical looks like this word and like a claw, and usually sits on top of a word. Let's write it. Left diagonal, we make it a bit flat. Outline on it, right dot. On the middle of the top diagonal, right dot. Finally, on the right of the symmetry, left dot. One word example is I love. Be aware that we usually write this radical shorter and smaller than the rest part of a word. Just like our head than the rest of our body. Next, 4点底 4 dot bottom. You can tell that this radical usually sits at the bottom of a word. We write these 4 dots evenly and horizontally. We usually write the 2 side dots bigger than the middle ones. In a whole word, this radical should be a little wider than the top body. Like a base foundation of a building. Let's write this radical. Left dot, right dot, right dot, right dot. One example is黑 black. The last radical today is 竹字头 bamboo. So this radical is the variant of this word. 2 parts of this radical are identical, and it is usually on top of a word. Let's write this radical. Short left diagonal dot. From the middle, short horizontal. From about the same spot, right dot. Write another copy. Short left diagonal or dot. From the middle, short horizontal. From about the same spot, red dot. As you can tell from its name, many words with this radical are related to bamboo. For example, this word, 笔 pen. Remember that in our previous video, we checked out the traditional Chinese pen brush. It's made of bamboo and fur. Okay, that's it. We've covered a lot today. Hope you find it interesting. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.